I'm the man. I got plans, fit the bourbon in my hand that'll make it change its stance. I'm like in advance, and I rarely ever chance. Rather mitigate the risk, keep my eye up on them bands. I'm just saying, in the land, guess I'm back in high demand. And my car ain't from Japan, but I drive it like I ran from the cops. I'm like, damn, seen you tweaking on the gram. I can never understand how you claim to be a man, cause you not. I'm like, cause you less able. Get these squares stretched out, that's a rectangle. Tell that girl to wipe me down like a wet table, and come and get your ass beat, that's a vegetable.
What's up, boxing heads? It's your boy Pool coming at you with another boxing video for the boxing heads and the boxing mind. Why do they call Teofimo the takeover? Why do they call him the takeover, man? I don't understand. Look like, he forgot that everybody saw him get overtook by George Kambosos, who tapped into his spiritual animal, which I believe is a kangaroo, and hopped all over his ass, right? We saw it. You know what I'm saying? His head looked like the side of a rocky mountain, right? I mean, he was all lumped up and shit by a man who has no punching power. A man who comes at you, you know what I'm saying, directly in a frontal position. He has to leap forward. He's a short, small guy. Beat your ass, Tio. So why are you downplaying Shakur Stevenson? You know Shakur Stevenson has way more skill than George Kambosos. He could beat George Kambosos with his eyes closed with one hand tied behind his back. But you went life and death with him, right? So why are you, just because you beat Josh Taylor? You know what I'm saying? Josh Taylor was already, you know what I'm saying, a downtrodden fighter. He never fought the same way he fought after he won the belt. Never got back to that status. You know what I'm saying? So, you're cherry picking. You do have talent. I would give Tio that. He has fast hands. He has power. But is that gonna mean anything when he fight a boxing savant like Shakur Stevenson? I do not believe so. And then you sabotage. You could tell you don't want to fight by the way you sabotage and all the antics that he does before these fights. You got out of graces of the Turk by calling him a dictator. You know what I'm saying? You're walking around with white supremacist bloggers. You're doing everything you can to disrupt this fight because you know what's coming. You know that he's about to take that belt right on up off of you, and you're not going to be in the limelight anymore. You're just going to be a journeyman with a big mouth, and that's about the size of it. You know what I'm saying? For all that dancing and, jiggling and all that stuff you're doing with the exercises, you know what I'm saying? You're just going to be an in-shape bum, You're going to be an in-shape bum because you don't want to fight Matias. You don't want to fight, you probably want to fight Hitchison, but you don't want to fight Gary Russell. Those are the serious fights. You know what I'm saying? Gary Russell is ready for you. There's a lot. You don't want to fight no competitive fights. You want to do like Tank. You want to do like Javante Tank Davis. You want to just fight the fights you can win and walk around like you're a celebrity with your shades on and try to look cool. But you just look like a used car salesman as soon as you start talking boxing because it comes off as fake. You're talking about Shakur Stevenson is afraid to get hit. Well, you're afraid to lose. So that's a 1-1 to me. You know what I mean? So, you know what I'm saying? Teofimo Lopez, stop the cap, bro. Stop the cap. And then they're going to push the goalpost because they never want to make the great black fighters number one. You know what I'm saying? They got Crawford, trying to fight David Benavidez when they never required that of Canelo Alvarez. Isn't that something? But I'm not surprised. Are you? Are you? And they would be happy. They would be happy to get Crawford up there at 175 or have David Benavidez to come down to 168 just to see him lose so they can enjoy his downfall, right? And they probably had a parade that he got in trouble with the law for a little bit, but it didn't turn out to be nothing, right? So black fighters are always climbing, from the bottom to the top, and they still don't get appreciated for it, right? So I don't know when are these fighters going to learn? When are they going to learn that this system, this boxing system is not, pro-black fighter? You know what I'm saying? We had Murderers Row. It's a lot of things, man, that's in this history of this boxing system that try to keep us under control because we're just too dominant in this sport. This has been Pool Counter Boxing. Make sure you subscribe, hit that like button for your boy, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.
When I was young and throwing clips up on the YouTube. Used to dream about the day when YouTube. Back when I was young and throwing clips up on the YouTube. Used to dream about the day when I be in a new coupe. Now I'm in that Audi doing numbers up for rap shit. Top go, I maneuver through the traffic. Yeah, bitch.